Hello everyone. In the last class, I explained about single column cash book. And in today's class, I am going to teach you about a double column cash book. First, we will see what is a double column cash book. A double column cash book is a specialized ledger used to record both cash and bank transactions in one place. Means what? In this double column cash book, we will record both cash and bank transactions in one place. This is the meaning of double column cash book. In single column cash book, we used to record only cash transactions. But in double column cash book, we used to record both cash and bank transactions. So here it has two money columns on each side. That is one for cash and one for bank. One for cash and one for bank. And this format helps businesses keep track of all cash receipts, payments and bank transactions without needing separate ledgers for each. Means we need not to prepare a separate ledger for cash and bank transaction. Only this format, means this double column cash book, helps the businesses keep track of all cash receipts, payments and bank transactions. So think of it as a two-in-one record for all your financial inflows and outflows. Think of it as a two-in-one record for all your financial inflows and outflows. Now we will see the format of double column cash books. Here debit side and credit side. In the debit side, date receipts in means debit side receipts will come, and LF it means ledger folio. It a reference to the ledger where the entry is posted, and cash amount and bank account. Means cash, this column for all cash transactions and this column for all bank transactions. And again credit side, that date payments. In credit side payments will come, debit side receipts will come, and LF same means ledger folio. This is cash column and bank column for all cash transactions and bank transactions. So this is the format of double column cash book. Now here one important concepts will come under double column cash book, that is contra entry. We will see what does it mean. Contra entry, it means what? See, a contra entry, it happens when money is transferred between cash and bank account of the same business. Contra entry means what? It happens when money is transferred between the cash and bank accounts of the same business, and these contra entries indicated with a C in the ledger folio. So if there is any contra entry, we have to indicate with a C in the ledger folio. For example, see, cash withdrawn from banks. Here cash account debtor to bank account. Here cash account will come and bank account will come. For these entries, we will call it as a contra entries. And deposited rupees 5,000 in the bank. Bank account debtor to cash account. Here also bank account will also come and cash account will also come. For these entries, we will call it these entries as a contra entries. Okay, means this happens when money is transferred between the cash and bank accounts of the same business. Okay, here I will explain where we have to enter these entries in the double column cash book through example. Before that, we will see the features of contra entries. What are the features of contra entries? First one, they always appear on both sides of the double column cash book, means debit side also, credit side also, or under receipts and payments. Means we have to give the effect to both sides of the double column cash book. And second one is the ledger folio column is marked with C, indicating it's as a contra entry. If there is C in the ledger folio, it shows as it is a contra entry. Fine. And third one, these entries do not affect the overall cash book balance. If there is any contra entries will come in the problem, they will not affect the overall cash book balance. Okay, these are the features of contra entries. Now we will see one example for double column cash book. See here. First one is, on Jan 1st, business started with rupees 10,000 cash. Business started with rupees 10,000 cash. Means it comes under receipt side. That is, we have to write to capital. Okay, business started with rupees 10,000 cash. That cash is with the business. So, it is treated as receipts of our business. And next one, January 3rd, deposited rupees 3,000 into the bank. Means deposited, see here, deposited rupees 3,000 into the bank. Means these transactions happens between the cash and bank account of the same business. So these are called as contra entry. Means on January 3rd, the transaction is deposited rupees 3,000 into the bank. This is a contra entry. So what is the entry? Bank account debtor to cash account. Bank account means bank is receiving the cash and business is depositing the cash. So bank account debtor to cash account. And later I will explain how to record these contra entries in the double column cash book. First we will read the problem. And Jan 5th, purchased goods for rupees 2,500 and paid by cash. For purchasing the goods, what we have to do? We have to pay the cash. So it will comes under payment side or credit side. Fine. And next one, here we have to write purchase account, by purchase account, because here they mentioned the goods. They have not mentioned if they are buying the purchasing the furniture or machinery. If there is furniture or machinery, we have to write furniture account debtor to cash account. But here they specified only goods. So we have to write only purchase account debtor to cash account. Next one is, on Jan 7, withdrew rupees 1,000 from the bank for office use. On January 7, that is withdrew rupees 1,000 for office use. Means what? Here also see, withdrew rupees 1,000 from the bank for office use. Means what? This is the contra entry. Withdrew rupees 1,000 means we are receiving the cash and bank is paying the cash. Means what? Cash account debtor to bank account. So here this is also January 3rd, that is also contra entry, and January 7th, that is also contra entry. Next one, January 10, received rupees 4,000 from a customer in cash. Means it will come under receipt side, means under debit side. And January 12th, paid rupees 500 to a supplier through bank. Paid rupees 500 to a supplier through bank. Means we are paying the cash to a supplier. So by supplier account under payment side. Means it will come under credit side. Next one, January 15, deposited rupees 2,000 into the bank. See again here contra entry. Means we are depositing the cash into the bank. So receiver is bank. So bank account debtor to cash account. See bank, and if bank and cash will come, that is treated as contra entry. And we have to indicate the contra entry as C in the ledger folio. Fine. And next, on Jan 20th, paid office rent of rupees 1,200 in cash. Means it will come under payment side. We are paying the office rent. That is rupees 1,200 in cash. See, in double column cash book, we have to very carefully read the problem, because here they will mention whether they are paying the amount in cash or through bank. If we are paying the amount through cash or in cash, we have to enter the amount in cash column. And if they are paying the cash through bank, we have to enter the amount in the bank column. Fine. This is about double column cash book. Now we will solve the problem. See here, first we have to Write down the format. Date, particulars means receipt. Under debit side, receipts will come. Ledger folio, cash column, bank column. Again date, particulars means payments under credit. Ledger folio, cash column and bank column. First entry is on Jan 1st. Here business started with rupees 10,000 cash. Means this is treated as receipt. Means on Jan 1st to capital, that is rupees 10,000 cash, means write down in the cash column, that is rupees 10,000. Understood? Now we will move to the next transaction, that is on Jan 3rd deposited rupees 3,000 into the bank. This is a contra entry. Why? Because here bank and cash account will come. Deposited rupees 3,000 mean receipt of cash is the bank. Bank account debtor to cash account. Why? Because we are depositing the cash. So bank account debtor to cash account on Jan 3rd. Now the question will arise how we have to enter this contra entry in the double column cash book. See, listen very carefully. So the entry is bank account debtor to cash account. Right? In ledger, what we will do? Here we are maintaining the cash book. Here cash book. Here we have credited the cash account. Here we are credited the cash account. So you have to go to the credit side. Go to the credit side and write down the opposite entry of cash account. Okay, see all these ledger I have explained in my previous classes. I will provide the link. Please watch that class first and proceed with this one. Okay, here see the entry is bank account debtor to cash account. Here cash account is credited. So go to the credit side of the cash book and write down the opposite entry of cash account, that is bank account. So on Jan 3rd, write down by bank. Here again the question will arise whether we have to enter the amount in the cash column or bank column. Okay, see here, when cash is deposited into the bank, when cash is deposited into the bank, the business is transferring money out of the cash account and depositing into the bank account. When cash is deposited into the bank means what? Here the business is transferring money out of their cash account. Means what? Here there is a decrease in their cash balance of the business. So to show this reduction in the cash account, the amount is written in the cash column on the credit side. Why? Because cash is decreasing. Fine. So in the cash column on the credit side, write bank under the particulars and enter the amount under cash column. Why? Because when cash is deposited into the bank, it means business is transferring the cash to the bank. Means there is a reduction of cash balance of the business. So the reduction of amount, that is rupees 3,000. So write down rupees 3,000 in the cash column, that is rupees 3,000. And what we have to do? In the ledger folio, we have to indicate as C because this is a contra entry. And now next here on the same date again we need to enter cash account. If bank account it is in the credit side, we need to enter the cash account in the debit side. Okay, so Jan 3rd to cash account. Now again the question will arise where we have to enter the amount. Okay, so the debit side of the cash book records increase in cash. Increase in cash means when you are depositing the cash into the bank, bank balance will increase. Bank balance will increase. Okay, the bank account increases, so the amount is written in the bank column. Bank column on the debit side, that is rupees 3000. Okay, this is about contra entry. Again I will explain. The entry is deposited rupees 3000 into the bank account debtor to cash account. And here cash account is credited. So go to the credit side of the cash book and write opposite entry of cash account, that is bank account. So by bank account. But very careful while writing the amount. Here on the credit side, we have to write down the amount in the cash column, because when business is depositing the amount into the bank, the cash balance of business will decrease because we are depositing the amount of rupees 3000 into the bank. And simultaneously the bank account increase means on debit side we have to write to cash, but we have to enter the amount in the bank account because the business is depositing rupees 3000 into the bank and bank balance will increase. Okay, this is about contra entries. Here in the ledger folio, here also we have to indicate it as C. Fine, this is about contra entry. Now we will move to the next one, that is on Jan 5th purchased goods for rupees 2500 and paid by cash. Here paid by cash, not through bank. Means what we have to write? Here purchase account debtor to cash account, and on Jan 5th means for purchase of goods we have to pay the cash, right? So it will come under payment side, that is credit side, that is by purchase, that is rupees 2500. In the cash column we have to write because they paid the amount by cash, 2500, sorry, 2500. Okay, next one. See, on January 7th, what happens? Withdrew rupees 1000 from the bank for office use. See, this is the contra entry. Withdrew rupees 1000 means we are receiving the cash. Bank is paying the cash. So, the entry is, first write down the entry. Cash account debtor to bank account. Cash account debtor to bank account. Okay, see here. Here first what we have to do? Here cash account is debited. Go to the cash book and go to the debit side. Here the entry is cash account debtor to bank account. Here cash account is debited. So go to debit side of the cash book, that is Jan 7th, and write down the opposite entry of cash account, that is to bank account. To bank account. And here we have to write down C because this is a contra entry. And here again the question will arise where we have to enter the amount. See here, the debit side of the cash book, records increase in cash. Records increase in cash. Okay, so what we have to do? Where we have to enter the amount? We have to enter the amount in the cash column. Correct. Yes, that is rupees 1000. And here on the credit side, write down by cash. By cash and write down C in the ledger folio. Write C in the ledger folio. And again, bank column on the credit side, record decreases in the bank balance. Means what? When cash withdrawn from bank account balance will decrease. Bank account balance will decrease. When we withdraw the cash from the bank, bank balance will decrease. So, write down in the bank column, that is rupees 1000. When we withdraw the amount from the bank balance will decrease, but the business cash balance will increase. Okay, I hope this is clear to you all. Now we will move to the next one. That is on Jan 10, received rupees 4000 from a customer in cash. Means it comes under receipt side. Received from whom? Received from the customer. So, on Jan 10th to customer in cash. So, write down in the cash column, that is rupees 4000. And next one, on Jan 12, paid rupees 500 to a supplier through banks. Here, through bank means we have to enter the amount in the bank column. That is rupees 500. It comes under payment side because we are paying the amount to the supplier. So, on Jan 12th, see, by supplier. That is rupees 500. Very careful while record the amount. That is rupees 500. In the bank column, we have to enter the amount here. That is rupees 500 because paid rupees 500 to a supplier through bank. Next one, January 15, deposited rupees 2000 into the bank. See again, contra entry. Now, see here I have already written the entry, that is deposited rupees 2000 into the bank. So, the entry is bank account debtor to cash account. So, here cash account is credited. So, go to the credit side of the cash book and write down the opposite entry of cash account. The opposite entry of cash account is bank account. So, on Jan 15, by bank, and write down C in the ledger folio because it is a contra entry. Now, where we have to enter the amount? Where we have to enter the amount? In by bank, whether in the cash column or bank column. See, when cash is deposited into the bank, it means business is transferring the money out of the cash account and deposited into the bank account. Means there is a decrease in the cash balance of the business. So, write down the amount in the cash column by bank, that is rupees 2000. And Jan 15 to cash, contra entry. Here we have to enter the amount in the bank column because bank balance will increase. When business deposits rupees 2000 into the bank, bank balance will increase. That is rupees 2000. And next one, last transaction, that is paid office rent of rupees 1200 in cash. Here, paid office rent of rupees 1200 in cash. Means it comes under payment side, means credit side. That is on Jan 20, by office rent. That is rupees 1200. Why in the cash column? Because here they have mentioned paid office rent of rupees 1200 in cash. Fine. Okay, here we have finished our problem. See again, I will explain the contra entries. Here, first one, deposited rupees 3000 into the bank. Fine. Means the entry is bank account debtor to cash account. Bank account debtor to cash account. And here cash account is credited. So go to the credit side of the cash book and write down the opposite entry of cash account, that is bank account. See here by bank account. And write down C in the ledger folio because this is a contra entry. And the question will arise where we have to enter the amount. So here when business depositing cash into the bank, the cash balance of business will reduce. To show this reduction in the cash account, the amount is written in the cash column on the credit side. Means what? Because cash is decreasing. So rupees 3000. And here we have to write to cash account and we have to enter the amount in the bank column. Because bank balance will increase. When business depositing the amount into the bank, bank balance will increase. That's why in the debit side, under particular column, write down to cash account and enter the amount in the bank column. And in the same way, here withdrew rupees 1000 from the bank for office use. Means the entry is cash account debtor to bank account. Here cash account is debited. So go to the debit side on January 7th and write down the opposite entry of cash account, that is bank account. So write down to bank account. And here we have to enter the amount in the cash column. Why? The debit side of the cash book, it records increase in cash. Increase in cash. That's why, because we are withdrawing the amount from the bank, means the cash balance of business will increase and the cash balance of bank will decrease. That's why here we have to write by cash and here bank balance, that is rupees 1000. Here bank balance of, means here the bank balance will decrease. When we withdraw the amount from the bank, the cash balance of the bank will decrease. So this is about contra entry. Okay. Now we will check the total. First, how we have to check the total? First one, we will check down here, see here, cash balance. That is debit side. That is rupees here 10,000 plus 1,000, 11,000 plus 4,000, 15,000. 15,000. And cash balance credit side. Cash balance credit side is, see here, 3,000 plus 2,500 plus 2,000 plus 1,200. That is rupees 8,700. One more time I will check. 3,000 plus 2,500 plus 2,000 plus 1,200. Yes, that is rupees 8,700. See, write down 8,700. Now the closing balance equals to 15,000. Debit side is having more amount, minus means 8,700, means receipts minus payments, minus 15,000. That is rupees 6,300. Once I will do the calculations, after that we will write down 6,300. Now we will see the bank balance. I will write down here bank balance debit side. See here, bank balance debit side 3,000 plus 2,000, that is 5,000. and credit side 1500. So closing balance 5000 minus 1500, that is rupees 3500. That is rupees 3500. So credit side is having less amount. So on Jan 31st, by balance carried on, that is rupees closing balance of debit side cash column 6300, and here it is 3500. So total 15,000, here also 15,000, 5,000, 5,000. Now February 1st, to balance brought down. To balance brought down, that is rupees 6,300 and 3,500. If we write down the by balance carried on in the credit side or at any side, that opposite side we have to write to balance brought down, that is rupees 6,300 and 3,500. Okay, in this way we have to solve the double column cash book problems. And in this class you learn how to enter the contra entries in the cash column and bank column. Okay, I hope this class is clear to you all. If not, or otherwise if you have any doubt in the contra entries, how to record the entries in the double column cash book, please leave a comment. Okay, thank you.